Q105. I know you thought it would never get here. 5 o'clock on Friday afternoon. We're just a few minutes away from the Friday festivities to kick it all off and give you another chance at $1,000 as we rock the cash box right after Rick Astley.
From the Camp Rouge and Green, your car accident team studios. 104.7 WRBQ HD1 Tampa, a Beasley Media Group station.
It's time to rock the cash box.
I got a room full of Beasleys here. Y'all ready? Yeah! All right, text the word, you ready? The word compete, COMPETE, to our nationwide number, 45911. Compete. Text that word now. You've got until 5:15 to get it done. And you can also use the Q105 app on your smartphone or myQ105.com and enter there. The word is compete, and the word is Friday. Are y'all ready? Yeah! It's Friday, 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 Friday. There is no better way to start the weekend. Good job, gang. Have a great weekend, and let's get this party started. 310 at Q105 with Mason Dixon, and I will be here for you for several more years, thanks to our Beasley Media Group parent company. Yep, just signed a contract extension to just keep rocking the house and driving you guys to the house in the afternoon, and we'll do it for several more years. As long as they'll have me and long as you'll have me, we'll keep doing this. Q105, it's almost time to run to 7-Eleven. Yeah, they haven't been able to do this in a while. You know, COVID put a stop to everything, especially bringing in something from the outside to get something inside and take it out. What are you talking about, Mason? How about bring your own cup day coming back to 7-Eleven stores for the first time since COVID hit? They're going to do it on the 27th. That's a week from this Saturday. You can bring in your cup, pretty much any size, and fill it up with a Slurpee. Now, this is different from Slurpee Day, which they had last month, when they gave away a free small Slurpee. You come in with your container, fill it up for just $1.99. Now, there is a little bit of, okay, you got to do the right thing here. No baby pools, no fish tanks, can't be more than 10 inches wide or tall, but they've let it slide a little bit if you fudge just a tad. But don't fudge too much and bring in a 40-gallon pail and want to fill it up. Let's check on traffic now. Q105, one of the things I'm most proud of throughout the years is being able to and having the Beach Boys acknowledge that song Kokomo started right here on Q105 back in the 80s. And it did. We played it. I just blew the phones out, and we started calling all of our friends all over the country saying, oh, man, just play the song. Watch what happens. Everybody's going, it's the 80s. It's been a long time since the Beach Boys had a hit. They're going, Beach Boys? Oh, come on, that ain't going to work. They played it, and guess what? It hit just like it did for us everywhere else. Song went to number one, and I can tell you that today, Bruce Johnson and Mike Love, whenever they're out in concert, they play the song Kokomo. They give credit to Tampa Bay's Q105 for breaking that song and making it a hit for them. And I got to tell you, that one is a big time source of pride. Almost as much as it was when Bruce Johnson invited me up on stage when they were playing at a Rays game, said, come on up here and sing Kokomo with me. I can't sing, but I sure like to talk. And I let it go with that. Let's get a check on traffic now. Pat George, what's up? Q105. All right, cat lovers, see if you agree with this. This is a new survey, and I saw this. Having had cats in our house for many, many years, and still love the cats. We just have 3 dogs right now, and that's as much as we want to handle. But they're talking about, and this was about 87% of the people in the poll, cat owners, say they regularly get baffled by their cat's behavior. And let's be honest, cats can do some interesting things. Number one on the list, how the cat can tell the difference between the sound of a treat packet opening and something that's of no interest at all, like a bag of salad. Think about that. See if your cat will do that. Why they seem to ignore, and did mine ever do this? Why they ignore their scratching posts and go right for the furniture instead and look at you while they're doing it. And this one is funny. Why they get the zoomies at random times. Now, what's a zoomie? Well, as far as the cats are concerned, they absolutely go nuts for a few minutes at a time. They run like crazy. They're bouncing off the walls or doing anything. Then they come sit down, start licking their paws going, no big deal. You've seen them do that. You know you have. And listen to this one. This one's good too. Why they meow at you when you're eating like they're asking for some of your food. You try to give it to them and they go, it's beneath my dignity. Open up the treat bag again, please. And number 5 on the list was why they constantly seem to try to get into places you'd rather not have them. Cupboards, under the bed, in the most unusual places. I think the most fun we've ever had with the cats is just put down a paper bag or put down a box and let them have fun. They're going to crawl in it. They're going to run in it, jump in it, especially if you've got a couple of cats and they start playing together. So anyway, that's my cat story for this afternoon for all you cat lovers out there, just so you know. I love them too, just like I do the dogs. All right, let's get a check on traffic, see if we're going to love what's going on out there. Q105, our hero of the week is a Florida man who can sell you chicken and give you a butt kicking all at the same time. Michael Gordon over in Okaloosa County was working the Chick-fil-A. He was one of the ones that worked the drive-through line. When he heard a woman scream, he looked around. There was a lady who was trying to get her baby out of the car to go inside the restaurant. And a man came up with a stick demanding her car keys, wanting to carjack the car. The woman started screaming, and Michael turned around and intervened. There's a video of this. He jumped on this guy, put him in a headlock, put him down on the ground and held him down. And then several other Chick-fil-A employees came over and held him till the sheriff's folks got there. And he even took a punch in the face, but he still got a hold of this guy, got him in a headlock, and would not let him go. And the suspect was arrested and charged with carjacking with a weapon. So, Michael Gordon, you are our hero of the week. Q105. So how do you like your fast food? Well, a website called Thrillist.com released the results of their 3rd annual Fasties Awards for fast food. So let me run down some of the lists here real quick, see if we catch one of these that might be yours. The best breakfast, according to this survey, was Wendy's. Runner-up, Chick-fil-A, then McDonald's. Now, best coffees. Culver's Blue Spoon Blend won. Runner-up, Chick-fil-A, then McDonald's. The best cheeseburgers. Culver's Double Butter Burger with Cheese. I probably can't disagree with that. Had it many times. Love it. Runner-up, In-N-Out Double Burger, and then the Sonic Supersonic Double Cheeseburger. Best fried chicken sandwich? Look at here. We have a new winner. It is Burger King's King Sandwich. Runner-up, Popeye's Chicken Sandwich, which was the former winner. Then KFC's Chicken Sandwich. Now, let's look at a couple more real quick here. For those of you who like fish sandwiches, Popeye's Classic Flounder Fish Sandwich came in first, followed by Arby's King's Hawaiian Fish Deluxe, then Long John Silver's Wild Alaska Pollock Sandwich. And we got to get to this one before we quit. The best fries. Arby's won that one. Arby's Curly Fries. Runner-up, McDonald's Fries. I love them. And then, yes, and I love these too, Chick-fil-A's Waffle Fries. I thought we'd probably get a little something out of that since there's probably a whole lot of us who have fast food for lunch or breakfast or dinner. Let's get a check on traffic now, see how it's rolling. Caddy, what's going on? Q105, do you believe in aliens? Extraterrestrial aliens. Let me clarify that because somebody out there might get crass and we're talking about illegals coming over the border. No. We're talking about extraterrestrial aliens. And you ready for this? With all we have seen as of late, and there have been a lot of photos now that are coming out, even our own government saying there's things happening out there that we can't explain. Times have changed, and so have attitudes. Now, this survey from YouGov was taken back in the mid-1990s, and it found that just 20% of the people surveyed believed that extraterrestrial aliens were responsible for these UFO sightings. Well, guess what that survey says today? 57% of Americans say that extraterrestrial aliens probably exist. It's only 25% who don't believe. That's a big shift from the 90s on all of that. And it's interesting, too, because they were also asked...
Traffic is slow from an accident northbound I-75 approaching Fowler Avenue, and you'll also see a crash southbound I-75 near I-4. There's a wreck near 301 at Adamo Drive that's causing traffic delays, and still seeing slow traffic both directions of 275 through Tampa. There's also an accident northbound 19 approaching Tampa Road. From the Rubenstein Law Traffic Center, I'm Kathy Davis on Q105.
Again, I just make a statement how much I hate the wide orbit computer system that runs all of our stuff here in this room. You can never figure out what it's going to do, because I was about to finish up and saying, here's what people think aliens will be like. Well, I'm going to finish it up. Wide orbit can do whatever it wants to do, but this is what I'm doing. 44% of the people in this survey about extraterrestrial aliens say they think they will be far more technologically advanced than humans. Interesting stats coming from YouGov. What do you think?
Feeding Tampa Bay.
Q105. Boy, times are tough out there. One of the major networks says they may cut primetime schedule back to 2 hours a night. Details after Hall & Oates. Q105. Oh, boy, this one's going to get you. NBC has announced they're going to maybe cut back their primetime schedule. And with that, I saw today, for those of you who are fans of the TV show Chicago PD, and I watch that from time to time, one of the main characters on there, Jesse Salfer, who plays Halstead on that show, is going to disappear sometime during the 10th season of that show, which means they're probably going to do away with him at some point in time. It's going to be interesting to see how he leaves the show, but Halstead will disappear during this upcoming season. And speaking of NBC, they say they may cut their primetime schedule back to just 2 hours per night of primetime programming. And I guess they're running out of ideas for shows, because I saw a couple of new shows for the fall. Chicago Sanitation Workers and Law and Order Jaywalking. I'm not sure how those are going to go over. Let's check traffic. Kathy, Q105. I'm sure at one point in time you've all used that line. Kids these days. Well, we were all kids once, and we probably did some dumb things that we shouldn't have done. But we didn't have social media, especially things like TikTok going around now, that will influence kids to do some really dumb things. The eating Tide Pods, and there were others. Well, the latest you may or may not have heard of, which might lead you to go and find out if you have any NyQuil in your medicine cabinet and put it somewhere where the kids can't get to it. It's called the Sleepy Chicken Challenge, and you're supposed to boil chicken in NyQuil. You pour the NyQuil all over it, and it's supposed to be a cure for a cold. Well, common sense immediately said, hold on a second here. Well, then doctors got involved. They saw it. And then the FDA got involved after they saw it. And here's what they say about all of this. Boiling any medication, especially NyQuil, can make it more concentrated, change the properties in unpredictable ways, even if you don't eat it, maybe just inhaling it while you're boiling it or cooking it or pouring it over chicken to do that could do something very disastrous. It could harm or even kill. We're not sure how much of this Sleepy Chicken Challenge is still going around, kind of like the Tide Pod thing, but just a word of warning out there that TikTok is trying to lead our kids in a very, very dangerous situation and direction. Just wanted to pass that along to you in case you hadn't heard about it. Let's get a check on traffic and hear about what's going on there. Kathy?
Shake it up. Shake it up.
Q105. Call it a relic of time gone by. Put it in a museum. There was a video that's been going around this week about there was a crane in Midtown Manhattan, New York City, loading up a group of payphones and taking them away. Gone. They say it's since 2018, there were about 100,000 payphones left in the U.S. Most of them were in New York, and they started removing them because they're putting up free Wi-Fi kiosks where you could charge your device and make a free phone call using their Wi-Fi. And those kiosks have a dedicated button to call 911. So for those of us who've put quarters and dimes and even slugs in some of those payphones throughout the years, they're going quickly. But New York did say that they probably would have gotten them out of there quicker, but there were several of those there where a guy kept running in there and changing into a cape and some tights, and they didn't want to interfere with that. But I think that's all changed now. Q105. Let's talk about Wordle for a second. Can you beat it? Well, a lot of folks were complaining ever since the New York Times took it over that they made it more difficult, a little bit different from what it originally was. But there's still a lot of people playing it. And did you know, this is one of those stats you go, I didn't need to know that, Mason, but I'm going to tell you anyway. 16% of the people who play Wordle play it while sitting on the toilet. Yes, there's another name that you could give it, but I am not going to mention that name here on the radio. We keep a family program here in the afternoon. But a lot of folks do say one of the first things they do in the morning, about 40% of the people that are really hooked on Wordle play the puzzle first thing in the morning. 13% wait till lunch, 22% hold off to the evening. But those that hold off, surely one of their friends is already going to tell them exactly what's going on with the puzzle. Forget that bathroom thing. Anyway, we have your 80s ear virus coming up that you will want to hear in just a second. And you'll want to hear what Kathy has to say in traffic. Let's get a check on it. Kathy, what's up? Q105. It can be a cruel summer if you're out enjoying yourself on the beach. You're walking around, maybe especially as it gets toward dark. And all of a sudden you step in a hole that's about 3 or 4 feet deep and break something. Well, that can happen. And where it's happening, in particular, is on Sanibel Island off Fort Myers. One of the residents there says she almost fell in one of those massive holes because it seems to be the new deal on TikTok. They want you to dig a hole, and I don't know why. And the problem is they're digging the holes and they don't fill the darn things back up. They just walk off. Well, the problem around here can be turtles that wander up onto the beach and fall into the holes and cannot get out. People that might do the same thing plus break something. And the fact that it's all on TikTok brings up another problem altogether, and that is the fact the Federal Communications Commission just said, and these are the ruling group that rules over all radio stations, are saying they think, and that in fact they're forcing Google and Apple to take the TikTok app off the phones because it is taking your sensitive information and giving it back to where TikTok originated. You know where that is? China. I think I remember a president saying something about that once upon a time. Just be careful. Don't do these stupid things like create a hole on the beach for somebody to stumble in if they're out walking after dark or whatever. Use a little common sense. Don't let TikTok make you go crazy, please. Okay, enough said. Let's move on. See if there's anything happy going on in traffic. Kathy, what have you got?
Traffic remains slow on the interstate.
Q105. All right, you GMC owners of GMC Terrain SUVs, starting around 2010 all the way up through 2017, although some of the newer vehicles are the real culprits for having lights that are too bright and aim too high and blind the heck out of you on the roads out there. But General Motors having to recall 740,000 of these because the headlight beams are too bright and cause glare to oncoming drivers. So this is where Mason reaches out to my motorhead buddies, the ones with the Jeeps and the pickup trucks that are putting lift kits on them. May I make a suggestion to some of you folks? If you put a lift kit on your pickup truck or your Jeep and you raise it up into the air, and it's one of the newer ones that has those incredible LED headlights, will you please get your headlights adjusted? Most of you do not, and I can tell you that you are absolutely blinding people. And one more special note, and these are the same ones, pickup trucks, Jeeps, who buy those LED light bars and put on the front of your vehicle and then turn them on at night. They blind the heck out of everybody. And by the way, I think if you'll check, when you bought those, they told you they were for off-road only, and you're using them on-road, and they're blinding people. Those LED lights are bright, bright, bright. If you raise it up, lower the headlights. There is a way to adjust them. If you don't know, ask somebody. They can tell you how to do that. And I thank you in advance, and there's a whole lot of other people out there who will thank you as well. Now, while we're out in traffic, let's check on it. Kathy, what's up? And we'll keep the fun going, a lot of music, and, of course, keep you up to date with everything that's going on in traffic for those of you that get off a little earlier than our official Friday 5 o'clock quitting time. And for those of you who are in it right now, let's see how it looks. Pat George, what's up?
Traffic is slow westbound I-4 approaching I-75, and you'll see an accident southbound I-75 near MLK. Also, traffic delays through Tampa north and southbound 275 approaching I-4. Also in Pinellas County, there's a crash northbound US 19 just north of Roosevelt Boulevard. From the Rubenstein Law Traffic Center, I'm Kathy Davis on Q105.
That is definitely not Pat George. I didn't know Kathy was going to get back in here this quick this afternoon, but that's a good thing. It's good to have my girl back because she'll be right back in here with me about 5:25, and we'll do the wacky news stories of the afternoon. Q105. I have a story here that could have been written by a giggling fifth grader, but it does come from astronomers and the world of science. So listen to it. I'm going to read what they had to say verbatim, and you figure out how much you're going to giggle about it. Astronomers say, quoting, that probing Uranus should be a top priority, and they want NASA to stop putting it off and go for it. They were quoted as saying, we still haven't studied Uranus in depth. So they want to create something called the Uranus orbiter and probe that would orbit around, then drop a probe deep into Uranus' atmosphere. They say it could unlock all sorts of secrets hidden in the clouds covering Uranus. Exactly, and we may be able to find out exactly what Uranus is made out of. I am going to stop right there. But now you can see what I was talking about. It sounded like it might have been written by a giggling fifth grader or a giggling afternoon disc jockey. Coming up, I got your 80s ear virus. First, let's get a check on traffic, see if there's anything to laugh about out there, Kathy. Q105. Like I said before, the internet, all the information that's available right there at your fingertips. But the internet will bring us some things that you probably wouldn't want to put your fingertips on, or anything else, as a matter of fact. There's a new video out that's showing people a good way to clean your toilet seat. That's right, your toilet seat. Put it in the dishwasher. That's what I said. Put it in the dishwasher. That's what they're saying. The pros are every nook and cranny gets cleaned, especially if your dishwasher has that sanitized setting that superheats the water. The main cons for this, I'm not even going to get into because some of you may be getting ready to have dinner. People pointed out that from a bacteria standpoint, I'm not even going there either. I would... God bless the internet. And let's close by saying that particular story needs to go... Let's get a check on traffic, Kathy.
In Tampa, there's an accident northbound Dale Mabry.
From the Kemp Rouge and Green, your car accident team studios. 104.7 WRBQ HD1 Tampa, a Beasley Media Group station.
It's time to rock with Cash Box.
All right, let's rock it for $1,000. The word is flip. F-L-I-P. Flip. Text that word to our nationwide 45911. You can also enter that word on our Q105 app on your smartphone, or you can go to our website, myq105.com. Enter the word flip. Again, text it to 45911 before 5:15, and you are in to win. Now, right about here, we'd be doing the Friday festivities, and I got to tell you, after everything that so many of us have gone through this past week, yes, we're ready for the weekend, but it's hard to cheer, if you know what I'm talking about. We've had loss of property, loss of life, loss of jobs, loss of power, and so much more, and it's not over yet. And for some down to the south, it's not going to be over for weeks, months, decades. And if you get a chance and you feel that you can, and you have survived all of this, to donate to those who need the help, we have teamed up with the Red Cross, and you can log on to myq105.com/donate. And that money that's going into the Red Cross from that donation will go to the folks in South Florida who have just been so devastated by the incredible events of this past week. It's not very often that I have ever canceled the Friday festivities. It's all been done for a good reason when we do it. And I don't think there could be a better reason than to do it and to think about all of those and all the loss that we have suffered throughout our state of Florida. And And it's not over yet. Folks in South Carolina are having to deal with Ian on a smaller version, but still a disastrous one right now. So with that, let's think about those who have suffered so much for the last week. But let's go ahead and start the weekend. Let's just do it with a little bit more of a somber note without all the cheering and yelling and screaming. But let's just play the song and get it started. Thank you